David Cameron has said Britain must agree a divorce bill with the European Union. Trade talks can start as Theresa May prepared her first face-to-face meeting with the bloc's chief negotiator. Mrs. May is hosting a working dinner with Michel Barnier and European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker at Downing Street on Wednesday evening, which is expected to focus on the process of exit talks. The issue of a Brexit divorce bill of an estimated £50 billion could arise. Given Mr. Barnier's insistence, the UK must settle the accounts, beginning talks on a future trading relationship with the EU. The meeting also comes ahead of Saturday's European Council summit, when leaders of the other 27 EU countries will discuss their draft guidelines for negotiations, which reject the UK's pleas for parallel trade and divorce talks. Answering questions at a global tourism summit in Bangkok, Mr. Cameron appeared to back the EU's stance, saying, "I would hope that we will be able to agree, as it were. The first bits of divorce minus it's a bit like a divorce. You have to deal with the money and then access to the children afterwards." The former Prime Minister said he thought both sides could agree. "Of course we accept some liabilities for this membership we've had for 40 years. Just as we have a claim on some of the assets that we've paid into. And I think we can settle the principles of that, and then get on with the nature of the relationship." Senior members of the government have insisted Britain will not pay a bill of the scale suggested by the likes of Mr. Juncker, with International Trade Secretary Liam Fox branding the idea absurd. But Mrs. May has said she is ready to discuss a fair settlement of Britain's obligations, although she has given no hint of the amount she is prepared to contemplate. Mr. Cameron said he is optimistic about the outcome of Brexit, suggesting that the starting point for a deal could be maintaining free trade in goods, before striking sector-by-sector agreements in areas such as financial services, agriculture and air travel. The separate agreements could be deals, in principle, to be implemented over a transition period, which the EU has acknowledged may be necessary in its draft guidelines. The former Tory leader also backed Mrs. May's decision to hold a general election which she is seeking to define by Brexit, saying it would give her more time and political space to negotiate a good deal for the UK. Brexit Secretary David Davis said cool heads, strong leadership, and traditional British resolve would be needed to secure a good deal as the UK leaves the EU. Speaking to the Prosperity UK conference in London, Mr. Davis acknowledged Britain would have to make compromises in the negotiations, but insisted the country had very good reason to feel optimistic. He said visits to a dozen new countries over recent weeks including 4 in the last couple of days had convinced him. The remaining member states wish to conduct negotiations in a spirit of sincere company operation.